Eccoli. Good morning. How are you? Good. Perfect. Welcome to Spazio Primitivo, to the Felline winery. I am Gregory Perrucci, represent the third generation in this family business. We are here. Spazio Primitivo is the place where we host our events and our tasting. And today we are connected with the London Wine Fair to introduce the crew of Primitivo di Manduria. We are located in Manduria, the hill of the boot in Puglia, and the Primitivo is the most popular and most famous grape that was cultivated here since many centuries. And our family was the first to make the crew of Primitivo. Today I will introduce to this fantastic world of Manduria.
Ciao Matteo!
Hey, ciao Gregory!
Most typical soil in Manduria is the red soil. Is the largest area around the town where Primitivo is cultivated, mostly in the Alberello style. We still have very old bottles of Terra Rossa. Is one of my grandfather bottle. It's a kind of reserve that maybe one day we will drink together. And this is the red soil. The most typical area for Primitivo is grown in red soil. That's very rich of iron. Here we have very old vineyard, more than 70 years old. You can see each vine, they make very poor fruit. Grape are very low yields per hectare, but we have great concentration, great color, and the wine is really rich. And now let's taste the Felline Terra Rossa 2019. This is a very concentrated wine with very friendly aromas, very fruitiness. The cherry is in front of the wine, of course, even if it's aged in French oak, the wine shows a great balance. Nose is really attractive. In the mouth, it's a wine very warm and velvety. It's rich, and it finishes with some sweetness, which is not sugar residue at all. It's the fruitness that's still fresh. But in the end and the aftertaste, we have slight tannins that wash the mouth and keep the wine drinkable. So you want to have more food and more wine to drink at each sip. Great wine.
C'è nessuno!
Gregory! Gregory, vieni a vedere, vieni. Guarda cosa ho trovato, guarda. Vedi? White soil. This is the second crew that we are going to introduce to this master class of London Wine Fair. The white soil comes from the breaking up of calcareous stones that are distributed on the soil. It's a kind of porous stones that keep the humidity, the water of the rain, so the roots of the vines keep the water they need, and they stay all the time fresh.
Another fossil.
Oh my God! Since you were a child, you were looking for fossils in this vineyard.
Yeah.
This is the white soil.
Yeah.
It's rich of fossils. Actually, this is a very calcareous soil for the vines, and the vine roots go deep to catch the hidden water, because the stones are porous, so kind of tufaceous soil, and that's why it's rich of fossils. The white soil is called Giravolta, and now we are going to test the 2017. Nose is really intriguing. The wine has been aged for 9 months in French oak, and here we have in the nose we have a good balance between the wood and the fruitiness. I would say that the white soil could be the most international Primitivo, maybe for the specific taste coming from the soil and also for the aging in the French oak. It's really easy and friendly wine. We would say even some feminine taste, because it's really soft and easy to drink. We can suggest this wine with all the Apulian cuisine, especially on vegetables when they are cooked in the rich way that we know. But you have to visit Puglia to discover not only the wine, even our food.
So in the white soils we can find fossil, right?
Yes, you know it very well. The white soil is very rich of fossils that are calcareous, and but we can even find some different kind of fossils in the black soil. This is the black soil. As you can see, it's soft because it's really deep. And black soil has alluvial origin, so it was just the composition of ancient forest. That's why here the soil is really fertile, and the vines go deep and they stay fresh. They have a lot of vegetation. That's why they make also more production per hectare. But also the cycle of each year is longer in this area. Usually this is the last one Primitivo to be harvested. So we usually harvest in the end of September. This vineyard, as you can see, is more than 8 years old and still production. Fantastic Primitivo here.
And what is this?
Actually, that is Zinfandel. This is the place where we started the investigation. We were involved in the debate between Primitivo and Zinfandel, differences and similarities more than 20 years ago. And when I was visiting California, one of the best well-reputed producers there, which is Ridge Vineyards, I bought some cuttings and I brought in my bag and I grafted here. And we are still grafting more vines because that wine was really successful. At that time we did that to see the differences, and we planted the side by side Primitivo and Zinfandel. But some years after, it came that the University of Davis discovered that the fingerprinting DNA is the same. So
Wow.
Primitivo and Zinfandel are genetically twin. But let's see how in a black soil the Primitivo and Zinfandel makes the wine. We are tasting in 2017, great vintage in Puglia. And here, as I told you before, the wine is rich, concentrated, but also very spicy. In the nose we have licorice, black pepper, rhubarb. It's really complex. The texture of this wine is so rich and so persistent that has a very, very long aftertaste. Tannins are still present, and it's really, really nice. He has 15 alcohol, but it shows a great balance. It's really a powerful wine that needs a steak, needs some game, for example. But it's a wine that in Puglia we usually have with lamb. I suggest you to taste this wine even with some boar, because it breaks the taste of a wild taste of the meat. This wine has been awarded many times by Gambero Rosso in Italy and by other international review, and it's related to the California history of Zinfandel. And that's why we are also the only winery admitted in the ZAP, the Zinfandel Advocates and Producer Association in California. Each year we are there to show our Zinfandel grown in Italy, and it's an honor for us to represent in Italy this unique production and production of the Zinfandel in Puglia. Enjoy.
Okay. Is the Zinfandel the most powerful Primitivo of the four crus?
Good question. And you help me to introduce another wine. The Zinfandel Sinfarosa is really powerful, but we have something unique. It's called Dunico. That means unique on the dunes.
Why did you take me here?
Because this is the place where you can learn the most powerful element to make great wines, which is the concentration of past and future. We are in the sandy soil. It's the poorest soil to make to grow vineyards. But here you can see the old vines resist, survive, and they wanna make fruit again. This is the place, the closest vineyard in sand that we have closest to the sea. And our job, our challenge will be to make those vines productive again. And I can show you here the past, where the Greeks have started the art of making wine. In Greece they didn't have good soil, they have rocky soil, and the vines used to grow on the ground like snakes. And this is what happened here, where the vines were abandoned and they came out again, growing on the soil. Look. So this is our challenge. I want to make again this great Primitivo di Manduria in the sand. Usually we get 16 alcohol degrees, but if you taste the wine, it's incredible because you don't feel at all. The nose is different from the other crus, is very rich and complex. We have dry figs, we have cloves, we have candids, a lot of almonds. It's a wine that changes so much in the glass. The sand vineyards are the first to be harvested because they ripen before the other. You know that Primitivo takes its name from the fact that it's an early grape varietal. Is ready to be picked up primativo. This is the origin of the name. In the sand, this is the primo primitivo. It's the first to be harvested. Usually we harvest at the 22nd, 25th August. So in the last week of August, and we make this wine, which is very, very large, has a richness changing nose. The mouth is incredible. It's very hard to me to suggest this wine with food because it goes very well by itself. It doesn't need even any food. Maybe with Stilton or Gorgonzola or strong cheeses or dry fruit. But this is a wine that the only thing it needs is a good company. We only make a few bottles per year and not all the vintages because in the area around Manduria there are not many hectares still alive of these vineyards. It's a wine unique that you will remember, Dunico, unique on the dune. Enjoy. In the end, you know, this is the most beautiful place for Primitivo di Manduria. You have wonderful vines, a wonderful vineyard. You can make great wine. You are in front of the Ionian Sea, which is one of the most beautiful in Europe. Splendid nature. That's fantastic.
This is really exciting, and let me tell you, actually I was thinking to apply to become a master wine in London.
It's great news. Incredible. It makes me a lot of energy. I want to start immediately to work on this project. Let's go.